So today we're going to be looking at your love life and how that can really be found to be whether good or auspicious in your palm or not. So we're going to look at how this is going to work for you. And so we have a brief overview and what to look for. And I have sketched very simply here A, B, C, and D. All of these are different depictions of your heart line. All right, don't confuse this with your headline, this lower one here. They're all different depictions of the heart line. Also, we have pointed out Jupiter, Saturn, Sun, and Mercury, the various fingers and the energies that they have. And this is how they're going to interact with your heart line. So let's start with A. Now, if you have a very long, deep heart line, especially if it reaches all the way up to Jupiter with branches, you're very, very lucky. This shows that you have a very beautiful, deep, honest nature, and you are a giver. You're not a taker. You're somebody who will just give of yourself. And the branches are showing how you share it. There's a lot of unconditional love in your nature, and you're very lucky if you would find a partner or have a partner with this kind of heart line. Okay, it is the best. It goes to show that you, your partner, would be very generous in life, very giving, and also somebody who would be very fair and just. Think about Jupiter. It's landing under Jupiter, right? Which stands for justice and what is fair and good. Now, on the other hand, if your heart line, sorry about my mouse, guys, it disappears and then I can't find it again, but B, stopping under your sun finger or Saturn, well, a short heart line is exactly what it depicts. It means somebody who's a little guarded, who holds back, who doesn't really trust, who needs to be convinced a lot in love. So if you have a partner with a short heart line and you found that it's difficult for this person to express him or herself, to let you in beyond their wall, well, yes, and that is why, okay? They don't really trust. And this could be something from previous lifetimes. They're coming into this incarnation. They're holding back their emotions, not fully trusting and working on how it is to kind of grow beyond this test, because it is a challenge. Especially if you are somebody with an A heart line, with a long heart line, you're the giver, and your partner with a short heart line would be the taker. Now, it's really difficult for a relationship to be harmonious if there's two takers. Can you imagine? Both of them being very guarded, both of them just wanting, needing from the other, which is not giving. That's a mismatch, right? But we many times do find in relationships that one partner has the long lifeline, the heart line, I'm sorry, and the partner has a short one. And this too is a difficult match, right? Because even though somebody can give unconditionally, you know, there's limits to everything. If you find that your partner is just taking and draining, well, you know, that gets old over time and they will have a conflict. It's always best for partners in a love relationship to have similar heart lines. Now, you can have two givers together, right? But it's difficult for two takers to be together. Now, so now that we have that down, let's take a look at C. Now, here's loops. You can call them islands or whatnot. These depicts the areas or the timelines where you might be challenged in love. So this person, say, started out really well, things were good, solid, safe, and then encountered a relationship that would test him or her for the period and the length of time of this island until it was resolved and could flow forward again, until there was a second challenge and a third one, right? So, of course, we would really like to see that this is not in our palms. If you're lucky and still have a long heart line though, right, and going up there to Jupiter, well, then I would say here early to midlife in the 20s and 30s, there might be some challenges in this palm. And then after that last challenge, if the line continues and runs deep and clear, this person should have a happy, lucky, good love life in the later years of his or her life. Now, sometimes there is no heart line. There's only what appears to be a headline with the lack of the heart line. If there's only one line like D here that runs straight across the palm, that is what we call a Simian line. And a Simian line is the blend of head and heart together in just one line. So that person won't have the three major lines in their hand. They'll just have like the two. Now, what is a Simian line and how is the personality of a Simian person? They are immediate. You know, the most of us have head and heart. Sometimes the heart rules, sometimes the head rules, right? And we can flip and flop in between, make our choices and decisions. However, the Simian person will act immediately. They are just extremely impulsive. They want something and they want it now, right? They don't distinguish the thought of consequences. They'll act, and then in the aftermath, they will see, oh, I should have felt, or I should have anticipated or intuited, you know, seeing that there was consequences for my action. But they are so immediate. Now, there's a lot of people with Simian lines, but they are the lesser degree of people. All right, so if you happen to have the Simian line, please comment down below. Share with us how you react, how you feel. Is there a big separation between head and heart, or are you one of those that are just immediate upon your needs, right? That can teach the other viewers here how you come across and how you feel, how you tackle your life with a Simian line. Now, an individual with Simian lines in both hands, that is definitely true to them, actually from birth and throughout their lifespan. Now, if you have a Simian line in one hand, but not the other, well, then it's all about learning and balancing where you came from. If it's in your non-dominant hand, meaning from a past life, you might have had that, and this life, and you're looking at your heart line in your dominant hand, well, then you're here to learn how to separate, you know, head from heart, where there's two brains, right? Because the heart holds its own brain. It's not just in the brain. And so that will be your challenge in this lifetime. Very, very interesting concept, and I'd love, love, love to hear from you so you can share with all of us how your Simian line works if you have one. So basically, you know, if your heart line ends up under Jupiter, you're lucky, it's generous, it's abundant, it's giving, right? If it ends under Saturn, well, Saturn is more a person who's a little cautious, likes to be in control, doesn't want to give away control, and they may not be as generous with their affections or words. If it ends under the Sun, the ring finger here, well, then that is somebody who's very self-centered, because the Sun is the essence of who we are. It's the I am. And if the Sun, the heart line ends here, well, then we could see a little bit of a narcissistic person. And then very seldomly will we just see that it ends under Mercury, which is communication. Normally it can go from the edge of your hand and out beyond the Sun. And then we see most people here either ending it under Saturn or Jupiter. So that's pretty much just the short of looking at love life right now. We'll get back in another separate video as far as looking at relationships, which is here at the end on the side of your palm. We'll talk a little bit about that and how that comes across. And of course, I do have a full 5.5-hour video course online that you could purchase. You can find a discount link in the description below where you can get it for 1/3 of the price directly from my site instead of paying full price at Udemy. And also there is a download link there for a book I wrote, 166 pages with tons and tons of illustrations, which I think you're really going to love because it's so easy to open up and find all the signs and so forth in the entire palm, so you can have that as a reference. And that's my gift to you as a little donation. So listen, I will see you next time, and have a good one. Bye now.